On the planet Zyphora, the sky glowed with soft iridescent colors. Its 3 suns rose and set in patterns that had been studied for thousands of years. The Zyphorans, a race of tall, slender beings with shimmering skin and bright eyes, moved gracefully across the gleaming cities of their planet. Every part of their world hummed with energy and precise organization. Technology flowed seamlessly with life. But today there was tension. The Grand Council of Zyphora had gathered in the central tower, a structure of crystal that caught the sunlight and scattered it like diamonds across the plaza below. Something had gone terribly wrong in the outer reaches of their star system. A cosmic anomaly, a sudden and growing storm of dark energy, was spreading rapidly toward Zyphora's home planet. Their best calculations suggested that if it reached the planet, it could destabilize the very core of Zyphora. The Council had tried every protocol, running simulations and sending emergency probes, but nothing could stop the storm. "This is beyond our knowledge," said High Scholar Tyriel, her voice calm but tight. "We need assistance from beyond our system." The Council agreed. They would send a distress signal, one strong enough to reach any advanced civilization in nearby galaxies. Their communication chamber hummed with power as Tyriel and her team calibrated the frequencies, encoding the message with every possible coordinate and description of the threat. But Zyphoran technology, though precise, had one flaw. It relied heavily on assumptions about how intelligent life would respond. And somehow, somewhere along the calculations, they made a small, almost invisible error. When the signal finally shot across space, it did not go to the nearest advanced civilizations as intended. Instead, it traversed a distant, twisting path through subspace, jumping galaxies until it reached a small, blue planet called Earth. On Earth, in a quiet observatory in New Mexico, Dr. Leah Carter was adjusting the antenna array on the new deep space listening station. The equipment had just been upgraded to detect extremely faint cosmic signals, and Leah was eager to test it. "Let's see if the universe wants to talk to us today," she muttered, tapping the control panel. The station's screen flickered with a signal unlike anything Leah had seen. It pulsed in a strange pattern, a combination of light and sound that seemed almost alive. Her eyes widened. "This isn't a normal cosmic event," she said. "It's intelligent." Leah quickly ran her fingers over the console, decoding the pulses. The message was complex, layered with instructions, coordinates, and warnings about a cosmic threat. She realized immediately, this was a call for help. Across the observatory, her assistant Ravi leaned over her shoulder. "Do you think it's aliens?" he asked, half joking. Leah didn't smile. "If it isn't, then it's the most convincing hoax I've ever seen. But I think it's real. Someone out there needs us." The news traveled fast. Scientists across Earth confirmed Leah's discovery. Governments and space agencies convened in emergency meetings. While the aliens on Zyphora had expected only the most precise, careful civilizations to respond, humans reacted in a way no one had predicted. Within days, plans were underway. Earth's engineers, astronauts, and private space organizations collaborated at unprecedented speed. Human ingenuity, fueled by curiosity and determination, began to turn raw ideas into spacecraft capable of reaching Zyphora. Meanwhile, on Zyphora, the Council watched their screens anxiously. They expected slow, methodical communication, measured responses from a civilization advanced in precision. What they saw instead was chaos. Plans, calculations, and blueprints were being developed at lightning speed. Humans, imperfect, unpredictable humans, were already building ships. High Scholar Tyriel frowned. "This is unusual. They are not cautious, they are rushing." "But they are intelligent," said strategist Kellen, his voice measured. "And bold. We did not expect boldness, only caution. Perhaps this will help." Back on Earth, Leah oversaw the construction of the First Fleet, a combination of government and private ships modified for deep space travel. The designs were unorthodox, inspired by both human creativity and the partially decoded Zyphoran schematics. Engineers argued and debated, yet somehow the projects moved forward at a pace that astonished everyone. Ravi, working on propulsion systems, shook his head with awe. "They didn't think we could do this, but here we are, building a fleet to cross galaxies." Leah smiled, feeling a thrill she had never experienced. "We can do this because we must. And because humans, we never give up." Thousands of miles above Earth, satellites and orbital stations hummed with activity. New engines were tested, shield systems calibrated, and navigation algorithms adjusted. Humanity was preparing for a journey into the unknown, a journey no one had imagined they would take. On Zephora, the Council watched the progress with growing disbelief. High Scholar Tyrael activated the translator on the monitor. The first messages from humans arrived, polite, eager, but full of questions. They offered help before fully understanding the threat. They were asking about Zephora's science, the nature of the cosmic storm, and the best way to assist. "This is unprecedented," said Tyrael. "They do not wait for perfect understanding, they act. And they act with optimism." Strategist Kellen leaned forward, his multiple eyes narrowing. "Perhaps optimism is their weapon. We rely on calculation. They rely on belief. Perhaps that belief is stronger than we realize." In laboratories across Earth, humans debated how to communicate with the aliens. Some argued for caution, using the carefully decoded message. Others argued for boldness, sending ships immediately, showing willingness to help. Leah sided with the latter. "Waiting will waste time," she said. "We can learn from them, adapt, and maybe even help them survive. That's worth the risk." On Zephora, the aliens prepared to receive humanity. They had only seen distant signals from civilizations before, never a full-scale fleet. Their sensors detected the launch of human ships from Earth's orbit. The vessels were small, imperfect yet fast, filled with determination and a strange human energy that the Zephyrans could not fully comprehend. High Scholar Tyrael turned to her council. "They are coming," Kellen nodded, "and they bring hope. Whether we are ready or not, they are coming to help." As human ships leaped into subspace, a sense of excitement and fear mingled in both civilizations. The cosmic storm continued to grow, moving relentlessly towards Zephora. Yet in the midst of uncertainty, one thing was clear. Humanity in all its chaotic brilliance was on its way, and the Zephorans realized something startling. They had not called for humans. They had not expected them. But perhaps the universe had chosen the right helpers after all. The first ships blinked into subspace, tiny specks of light racing across the galaxy. Leah watched from the control room, her heart pounding. Ravi stood beside her, wide-eyed. "Do you think they'll be ready for us?" he asked. Leah smiled. "It doesn't matter if they're ready. Humans are coming, and we'll figure it out together." Above Zephora, the aliens prepared to witness the arrival of a species they had not expected, a species full of courage, curiosity, and boldness. And for the first time in millennia, the Zephyrans felt something unfamiliar. Hope. Somewhere across the stars, two civilizations, so different yet so connected, were about to meet. And when they did, the universe would never be the same. The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly before the human fleet. Tiny lights glimmered against the black void, each one a vessel carrying hope, courage, and the ingenuity of an entire species. Earth had never sent such a force into the stars before, and yet, under Dr. Leah Carter's guidance, the ships sailed with precision and purpose. The fleet consisted of dozens of ships, some built by governments, others by private companies. Each ship was unique, reflecting the inventiveness of its creators. Some were sleek and angular, designed for speed. Others were rounded and strong, packed with equipment and supplies. But all shared one thing in common: a crew determined to help no matter the danger. Leah stood on the command deck of the flagship Odyssey, gazing out at the expanse of space. The main screen displayed the coordinates for Zephora, a bright blue dot among a sea of stars. "Everyone," she said, her voice steady yet full of excitement, "we are about to meet life beyond our world. Remember why we're here, not to conquer but to help, to learn and to share what we can. Let's make this first contact count." Around her, the crew nodded. Ravi was monitoring the navigation systems, adjusting subspace jumps with quick hands and careful calculations. Despite being young, his talent for understanding the alien signals had been crucial in plotting the fastest route. "Jump coordinates are locked," Ravi reported. "Next jump will bring us just beyond Zephora's outer orbit. No errors this time," Leah smiled. "Good. Let's see how our new friends greet us." Meanwhile, on Zephora, the aliens were observing with equal intensity. Sensors had detected the human fleet entering their system, and the sight astonished them. Those Zypherans were highly intelligent and technologically advanced. They had never imagined such a species would reach them so quickly. High Scholar Tyriel spoke to the council. Their speed is remarkable. Even with our calculations, we did not expect them to arrive so soon. Strategist Kellen tilted his head, his luminous eyes reflecting the light of distant suns. They are bold as predicted, but more than that, they are fearless. That is rare. We must be cautious yet open. As the human ships approached Zephora, the fleet began to navigate the planet's orbit. The atmosphere shimmered below, blue and green with hints of violet sunlight reflecting off crystalline oceans. The Zephyrians watched from their observation decks, unsure of how to react to beings so unlike themselves. The Odyssey moved closer, and Leah gave the signal to begin communication. Using the partially decoded Zypheran messages, the human crew sent greetings, simple, respectful, and full of curiosity. A moment of silence followed. Then, unexpectedly, a holographic projection appeared before the human fleet. Tall, slender Zypherans shimmered in light, their eyes observing carefully. High Scholar Tyriel stepped forward, her form graceful, yet her voice carried authority. "Visitors from a distant world," she began. "We did not anticipate your arrival. Your speed is impressive, yet your presence is also unexpected." Leah activated the translation device and responded, her voice calm but warm. "Greetings, we received your call for help. We came as quickly as possible to offer our assistance. We wish to understand the threat and do what we can to help your planet." The council murmured among themselves. They had expected caution, perhaps even hesitation, but the humans' honesty and boldness surprised them. Kellen, the strategist, leaned closer to Tyriel. "They act without hesitation, yet they seem sincere." "That is unusual." Tyriel nodded. "Perhaps it is not caution but trust. Perhaps we can learn from them as much as they wish to learn from us." The humans descended into Zephora's lower orbit, where the planetary crisis loomed closer. The cosmic storm, a swirling mass of dark energy and lightning-like strands, spread faster than predicted. The Zephyrians had tried every measure to contain it, yet their solutions had stalled. Leah's crew gathered in the strategy room of the Odyssey. A large holographic map displayed Zephora and the approaching storm. The human engineers and scientists began discussing possible solutions. "We need to stabilize the planet's energy core," said Dr. Malik, one of the human engineers. "If we can create a temporary shield and redirect some of the storm's energy, it may slow the spread." Ravi pointed to the holographic display. "We can adapt Zypheran technology for our own use. If we combine their energy converters with our shield systems, it might work faster than either of our technologies alone." Leah nodded. "Let's try it. We don't have the luxury of time." On Zephora, Tyriel and Kellen observed the humans' approach. The aliens were precise, relying on careful calculation. Yet the humans moved quickly, improvising and adjusting as new challenges appeared. Their boldness, so different from Zypheran caution, seemed to make the impossible possible. "You notice how they adapt?" Kellen said. "They change plans in real time without hesitation." "That is fascinating," Tyriel agreed. "It is both reckless and brilliant. We must watch carefully yet allow them freedom. Perhaps their way is the way forward." As the humans prepared to deploy their hybrid shield system, a group of Zypheran scientists approached them cautiously. One of them, a young researcher named Silon, hesitated before speaking. "Your methods, they are unusual," Silon said, "but effective. I do not understand how you think so quickly, yet it works." Leah smiled. "We humans are used to uncertainty. We solve problems as they come, and sometimes the best solution is the one that surprises even us." Silon's eyes widened, a mixture of admiration and disbelief. "Perhaps. There is much we can learn from you." With both humans and aliens working side by side, the fleet moved into position. Ships deployed energy arrays and shields hummed to life, surrounding Zephora in a lattice of light. The cosmic storm roared, a vast and unstoppable force. Yet the humans' determination was stronger than fear. Leah and Ravi worked tirelessly, coordinating between ships and Zypheran stations. "Energy levels rising," Ravi reported. "Shields are holding. But the storm is adapting." Leah clenched her jaw. "Then we adapt faster. Keep pushing, keep adjusting." Below on the planet's surface, Zypherans watched in awe. They had faced many dangers in their history, yet nothing had prepared them for the sight of these humans. A species so young, So unpredictable, yet so full of courage. Tyrael spoke quietly. They are remarkable. Their courage, their willingness to act, it inspires hope. As the storm lashed against the shields, the human fleet continued to maneuver, drawing on ingenuity and teamwork. Each obstacle became a challenge to be solved, each failure a lesson for the next attempt. Slowly, the shields began to stabilize, containing the storm enough to prevent immediate catastrophe. The Zephorans cheered quietly, their precision-driven hearts moved by something unfamiliar: admiration. Leah turned to Ravi. We're not done yet, but we've shown them something important. Humans are here to help, and together, we can face this storm. The aliens approached Leah for a meeting in the orbiting council chamber. Tyrael regarded her carefully. You have arrived faster than we expected, she said, and yet your courage and quick thinking have given us hope. We did not summon you. Yet now that you are here, perhaps it was fate. Leah nodded. We did not come to lead or control. We came to help, to learn, and to share what we know. Together, I believe we can protect Zephora. Kellen, the strategist, smiled faintly. Perhaps unpredictability has its place among the stars. Perhaps your species is the balance we did not know we needed. As human and Zephyran representatives worked together, the storm above Zephora began to show signs of slowing. The first joint operation had succeeded, not through raw power or perfect planning, but through courage, creativity, and collaboration. Leah gazed at Zephora below. The planet, shimmering with alien beauty, was no longer a distant concept but a responsibility, a challenge, and a wonder. Humanity had crossed the stars and arrived, and their journey was only beginning. Ravi leaned over her shoulder. Do you think they'll trust us fully? Leah smiled. Trust is earned, not given. But they've already seen what humans can do. That is the first step. Now we move forward, together. And so, as the fleet held orbit above Zephora, a new partnership was formed. One built not on dominance or fear, but on courage, ingenuity, and the boldness that defined humanity. Across the stars, the universe seemed a little smaller, and the possibilities a little brighter. Humanity had arrived not as conquerors, but as friends. And Zephora, once alone in its crisis, now had hope. The cosmic storm above Zephora roared like a living thing. Dark energy surged and twisted, spreading lightning-like arcs across the sky, reaching down toward the planet. Despite the humans' hybrid shields and the Zephyrans' advanced defenses, the storm's intensity continued to grow. It was as if the anomaly was aware of their efforts, testing them, challenging them at every turn. On board the Odyssey, Leah Carter studied the readings with unwavering focus. Her eyes moved from one holographic display to another, tracking energy flows, shield integrity, and storm movement. Every calculation they had made now demanded constant adjustment. Energy fluctuations are increasing, Ravi reported. The storm is finding ways around our shields. If we don't act soon, it could breach the outer layers and hit the core. Leah exhaled, steadying herself. We need more coordination. Get the Zephrans on the comms. Let's combine their calculations with our adaptability. Together, we might find a solution. On the Zephyran side, High Scholar Tyrael and her team had been analyzing the storm from multiple observation points. Their calculations were flawless, precise, and methodical. Yet even with their best predictions, the storm continued to defy expectations. It shifted unpredictably, faster than any natural phenomenon they had encountered. Kellen, the strategist, leaned toward Tyrael. Our approach alone will not suffice. These humans, their thinking is different. Perhaps their unpredictability is an asset we can use. Tyrael nodded. Let us coordinate with them. If we combine our precision with their ingenuity, we may stand a chance. The first joint meeting between human and Zephyran scientists began. The holographic table in the orbiting council chamber displayed the storm in 3 dimensions, energy streams twisting like silver snakes. Humans and Zephyrans hovered over the display, discussing and debating. Your shields are strong, Tyrael said to Leah, but your method of deployment is unstructured. Perhaps we can optimize it. Leah smiled politely. And your shields are precise but slow to adjust. If we let our systems respond in real time, we can cover more area faster. We complement each other. A Zephyran engineer named Silen looked impressed. I do not understand how your system adapts so quickly. It is Chaotic yet effective, Leah nodded. Humans are used to improvising. We plan, yes, but we also adapt when things go wrong. That's why we're here. To help, even when the unexpected happens. As the teams worked together, tensions occasionally flared. Cypherans valued careful analysis and complete understanding before action. Humans preferred trying solutions immediately, even if incomplete. Some Zephyrians worried that human boldness might endanger the planet further, Tyrael observed quietly, allowing small conflicts to play out. Disagreement is natural, she told Kellen. Their energy and courage may seem reckless, but it sparks ideas. Sometimes the best solution comes from tension, not harmony. Meanwhile, humans aboard the Odyssey prepared a daring maneuver. Leah had noticed a pattern in the storm's behavior, a weak point in its energy flow. It was small, unpredictable, and risky to target, but it offered a chance to slow the storm dramatically. This is going to be dangerous, Leah said to her crew. We're going to focus our shields at the storm's core weakness and redirect its energy into space. It may work, or it may fail. But if we do nothing, Zyphora is lost. Ravi's hands moved swiftly over the controls. I've adjusted the algorithms for real-time adaptation. If the storm changes course, our shields will follow instantly. We have a chance. Leah nodded, her heart pounding. Then let's do it. All ships prepare for synchronized shield deployment. Zyphorans coordinate with us. We're going in together. The operation began. Human ships formed a wide arc around the storm. Cypheran vessels following precise formations. Shields hummed to life. Energy streams interlacing, creating a lattice that reached toward the storm. The anomaly reacted instantly, sending bolts of dark energy toward the shields, testing their limits. For moments, nothing seemed to work. Bolts struck the shields and bounced, arcs of energy dancing along the edges. Leah and her crew adjusted continuously, rerouting power, recalibrating arrays, responding to every shift. Energy spike on the western flank, Ravi shouted. Shields are holding, but just barely. Divert extra power, Leah commanded. Do not let it break through. Below on Zephora, citizens watched anxiously. Their planet's surface shimmered with tension as energy fields glowed against the sky. They had always relied on precision and planning, yet now they witnessed a species that acted on instinct and boldness, and the results were astonishing. Tyrael whispered to Kellen. They are not perfect, yet they achieve what we cannot. Their courage, it strengthens us, Kellen nodded slowly. Perhaps their chaos is a type of order we have not learned. Perhaps we underestimated them. As the storm shifted unpredictably, Leah spotted the weak point she had calculated earlier. It pulsed briefly, a tiny gap in the swirling energy. This is it, she said. If we focus our shields here, we can redirect the storm's energy into the void. The Zephoran engineers adjusted their systems to match. Cylon, working alongside Ravi, coordinated the alignment of both species' shields. Every moment was tense. One misstep could cause the storm to break through. Leah took a deep breath. Steady. Now, channel all energy to the core weakness. Everyone synchronize. A surge of light and power rippled through the lattice of shields. The storm shuddered, arcs of dark energy spinning violently, then, slowly it began to collapse inward, drawn toward the redirected flow. Bolts of energy dissipated harmlessly into space, and for the first time in hours, the skies above Zephora began to calm. A cheer erupted from the human crews, tempered by exhaustion. The Zephyrans, watching from orbit and from their cities below, were silent at first. Then slowly, applause spread across the observation platforms. Tyrael's voice trembled slightly. It worked. They did it. Kellen smiled faintly. It was not perfect. There were risks. Yet they succeeded, humans. They are remarkable. Leah allowed herself a brief smile. We did it together. Humans, Zyphorans, side by side. This is just the beginning. As the storm dissipated, both species took a moment to appreciate their achievement. The operation had not only saved Zyphora, but had also created a bond between two civilizations. Humans had shown courage, quick thinking, and the ability to act where precise calculation alone would fail. Zephyrans had contributed wisdom, technology, and structure to make the solution possible. Cylon approached Leah as the crews celebrated. I admit I doubted your methods, he said, but now I see that your boldness, it is a strength. Perhaps we have much to learn from humans, Leah nodded, and we have much to learn from you. Together we can face more than just storms. Together we can explore what neither of us could do alone. Even after the immediate threat passed, the storm's energy lingered, a reminder that the universe was vast and unpredictable. Yet for the first time, Zephyrins felt something they had rarely experienced: hope. Humans had arrived in their system, not as conquerors, not as threats, but as partners. A species willing to act, to risk, and to help. Tyrael turned to her council. "They are different from us," she said. "Imperfect, unpredictable, yet full of courage and determination. Perhaps this is why they were chosen, even by accident." Kellen added, "Perhaps the universe does not always select the expected. Perhaps it chooses those who can inspire and act, not just calculate." As night fell on Zephora, the planet glimmered under the twin moons, the calm after the storm reflecting both relief and new possibilities. Leah looked down at the planet from orbit, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. Humanity had arrived. They had faced the unknown, worked alongside another species, and succeeded where failure seemed likely. "This is only the beginning," Leah whispered to Ravi. "The storm is gone, but the real journey starts now, learning, exploring, and building trust with a species that can teach us as much as we can teach them." Ravi smiled. "I think we're ready. Humans are always ready when it counts." And far below, Zephora's citizens looked to the skies, their hearts filled with wonder. They had not expected humans, yet these beings from a distant blue planet had arrived and faced the unimaginable. They had proven that courage, determination, and collaboration could achieve what calculation alone could not. The humans had arrived. They had faced the storm, and together, two civilizations now stood ready to face whatever the universe had in store. The calm after the storm lasted only a few hours. Even though the cosmic anomaly above Zephora had been partially redirected, small surges of dark energy continued to flare unpredictably. Zephyrins watched nervously, their precise calculations still unable to predict these minor outbursts. Leah Carter stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, scanning the readings. "These surges are localized but intense," she said. "If left unchecked, they could destabilize the outer regions of the planet. We need a plan, fast and precise." The Zephyrins had already begun planning a cautious approach. They suggested small, carefully calculated adjustments to the shields, but Leah shook her head. "That won't be enough. We need something more daring." Tyrael, observing the humans' preparations, raised an eyebrow. "Daring? Humans, your methods already surprise us. What more could you do?" Leah smiled faintly. "Sometimes calculation alone cannot win. We need to move boldly, take the risk, and act before the storm finds a new path." The Zephyrin Council watched as humans began mobilizing the fleet into an unprecedented formation. Unlike the precise grids the aliens preferred, humans arranged the ships in a dynamic, shifting pattern, constantly adapting to changes in the storm's movement. "This is unusual," muttered Kellen. "They do not follow rigid logic. They respond instinctively, using observation and judgment. And yet it works." Leah activated the fleet's communication network. "All ships, listen carefully. We're going to guide the surges into controlled channels, away from the planet. Timing is critical. Follow the signals and trust your sensors. Adapt if necessary. We're all in this together." Ravi, coordinating the arrays, worked quickly to adjust energy flows. "We can divert the surges, but it requires split-second timing. Humans can adapt, Zephyrins can calculate. Together we can do it." Silen, the young Zephyrin engineer, watched in awe as the humans took charge. They lead without demanding control. They inspire confidence rather than command it. How extraordinary. As the operation began, the storm flared again, twisting and pulsing with unpredictable energy. Human and Zephyrin shields interlocked, forming channels to redirect the energy. Leah and Ravi guided the ships, issuing instructions in real time, adjusting patterns and power levels as the storm tested every line of defense. "Western surge moving too fast," Ravi shouted. "Divert energy from the southern array." "On it," came the response from a Zephoran engineer. "Redirecting now." Energy arcs flowed through the channels, redirected into space. The storm's surges collided harmlessly, dissipating into the void. Yet another flare erupted from the core, stronger and faster than the others. Leah clenched her jaw. "This is it, the biggest one yet. We need to synchronize perfectly. Zephyrins, mirror our adjustments. Everyone, trust your instincts." The ships moved in unison, a dance of light and energy. Humans made bold, instantaneous decisions while Zifferans calculated precise alignments. The combination was extraordinary, instinct guided by reason, audacity tempered by skill. Below on Xiphora, citizens watched the skies with wide eyes. Energy flowed like rivers of light, surges redirected safely away from cities and critical structures. They had never seen such a display, technology and courage working together in harmony. Tyrael whispered to Kellen, "Their leadership. It is not born of authority, but of inspiration. Humans do not demand obedience. They show possibility and others follow willingly." Kellen nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Perhaps this is why they were chosen by accident or fate. Their courage is contagious. Their optimism strengthens those around them." As the final surge approached, Leah saw an opportunity. A narrow channel of low resistance appeared, a path where the surge could be safely expelled into space. It was risky. If the timing was off, the surge could strike Ziphora's northern hemisphere. "This is it," Leah told the fleet. "We move now, full power, precise timing. Trust your sensors. Trust each other." Human ships shifted into position, adjusting shields in milliseconds. Xipheran vessels mirrored them, following calculated trajectories. Energy flowed, surged, and twisted. And then, with a brilliant flash, the final surge was drawn harmlessly away from Ziphora, expelled into the void. A cheer erupted across the human fleet. On Ziphora, the council and citizens alike broke into applause, some standing in disbelief. The storm, once threatening destruction, had been contained and redirected. Humanity, bold and unpredictable, had led the operation, and they had succeeded. Tyrael approached Leah via holographic link, her eyes filled with admiration. "You humans, you did not simply assist, you led, and in doing so you saved countless lives and preserved our planet. We underestimated you." "I apologize for that," Leah smiled. "We all learned from each other. This was not about leadership or control. It was about working together, trusting our instincts, and never giving up. That's what humans do." Silent, still watching the operation from Xiphora's observation deck, whispered to a colleague, "I have never seen anything like this. They think differently, act boldly, and yet they achieve results beyond our expectations. Perhaps humans are meant to inspire, not just assist." The calm that followed was not quiet, but electric with possibility. Humans and Zipherans had proven something remarkable. By combining courage with calculation, creativity with precision, they could face even the unpredictable forces of the universe. Leah turned to Ravi. "We've shown them what humans can do, but we also learned from them. This partnership, it's just the beginning." Ravi nodded, smiling. "And I think we're ready for anything the universe throws at us next." As night fell across Xiphora, the twin moons reflected in crystalline oceans, citizens gathered in open plazas. They looked up at the stars, at the human fleet now holding orbit, and felt a new sense of hope and possibility. Tyrael addressed the council. "Humans are different from us in ways we cannot fully understand. Yet their courage and determination inspire hope. Perhaps this is why they came, by accident, yes, but now with purpose. They remind us that action and belief are as powerful as calculation." Kellen added thoughtfully, "Their unpredictability is not weakness, it is strength. Perhaps the universe does not always reward precision alone. Sometimes it chooses those who act with courage, who inspire others, and who never surrender to fear." On the Odyssey, Leah looked down at Xiphora, feeling a quiet sense of pride. Humanity had crossed the stars, met an alien species, and together they had faced a challenge that seemed impossible. And in doing so, humans had earned something even greater than success: trust and respect from a civilization far older and wiser than their own. Ravi leaned over the console. "Do you think they'll follow us if we need to lead again?" Leah laughed softly. "It doesn't matter if they follow. They've learned something more important, that humans act, and when we act together we can accomplish incredible things. That's the message we bring to the universe." Above Xiphora, the humans and Xiphorans shared a quiet moment of understanding. Two species, so different yet united by courage and hope, had faced the storm together. The skies shimmered with the energy of their combined efforts, a symbol of what could be achieved when differences were set aside and hearts worked as one. Leah felt a sense of certainty she had never known. Humanity had arrived not only to help but to lead with courage, inspire with action, and show the universe what it meant to be human. And somewhere across the galaxy, the stars seemed a little brighter, as if acknowledging that a new chapter had begun, one where humans, bold and inventive, had become a force of hope, unity, and inspiration among the stars. The storm above Zephora had been finally contained. Energy arcs that had once threatened to tear through cities now shimmered harmlessly in the upper atmosphere, dissipating into space. The skies, once chaotic with dark energy, were calm and glowing with the soft colors of the planet's 3 suns. Humanity and Zephora had faced the unknown together and emerged victorious. On the bridge of the Odyssey, Leah Carter stood with her crew, surveying the calm before them. A mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration filled the room. Hundreds of hours of travel, preparation, and battle against the storm had led to this moment. Yet Leah knew this triumph was not hers alone. "This is incredible," Ravi said quietly, watching the holographic display of Zephora below. "We came to help and we succeeded." "I can hardly believe it," Leah smiled. "We didn't just succeed. We built trust, friendship, and understanding. Humanity showed courage, adaptability, and creativity. That's what makes us, us." Across orbiting platforms, Zephyrans observed the human fleet and their own systems. High Scholar Tyrael addressed the council and the gathered observers in the central chamber of Zephora's orbital station. "Humans have proven themselves remarkable," she said. "They acted without hesitation, combining boldness with skill. They inspired confidence not just by their success, but by their willingness to act in the face of uncertainty. We have learned much from them, and we have gained allies for the first time in our history." Strategist Kellen nodded, his expression reflecting respect and awe. "This partnership has shown us that courage, creativity, and optimism are forces just as powerful as calculation and precision. Humans do not follow expected paths, yet they achieve outcomes we could not have imagined." On the surface of Zephora, citizens poured into open plazas and observation points. Holographic displays projected the human fleet in orbit, showing ships maneuvering in perfect coordination with Zephyran vessels. Children pointed excitedly. Adults whispered in astonishment, and scientists shared notes on lessons learned. Humanity had arrived, and in doing so, it had inspired an entire civilization. Leah watched the holographic feed from the Odyssey. She saw the awe in Zephyran faces, some wary at first, others curious, all impressed by humans' courage and determination. She realized that humanity had not only helped save a planet, but had also left a lasting mark on the galaxy. Silen, the young Zephyran engineer who had first doubted humans' unconventional methods, approached Leah via holographic link. His luminous eyes reflected admiration. "I admit I was skeptical of your ways," Silen said. "Yet your boldness, quick thinking, and willingness to act have changed my understanding. Humans, you inspire hope." Leah smiled warmly. "We all inspire each other. That's the true lesson. We came to help, yes, but we also learned from you. Together we are stronger." In the following days, human and Zephyran crews worked together to stabilize Zephora's systems completely. The hybrid shields were reinforced, energy cores balanced, and planetary monitoring networks optimized. Zephyrans taught humans advanced techniques for efficiency and control, while humans contributed intuitive approaches that Zephyrans had never considered. As trust deepened, discussions began about the future. Humanity had come to assist, but the Zephyrans realized that this was only the start of a longer relationship. There was much to explore, not just in technology, but in culture, diplomacy, and shared knowledge. High Scholar Tyrael addressed Leah and the human delegation during a formal ceremony on the surface of Zephora. Crystal towers glimmered in the background, reflecting sunlight in radiant patterns. Citizens gathered, their eyes bright with admiration. "Humans," Tyrael began, "your presence was unexpected, yet your actions have shown us that courage, creativity, and willingness to act in the face of uncertainty are virtues of great power. You came to help, and in doing so you have changed our understanding of the universe. We welcome you not only as friends but as partners." Leah felt a rush of pride tempered with humility. "Thank you, High Scholar Tyrael. We came to help because it was the right thing to do. But we have learned more than we could have imagined. Your knowledge, wisdom, and openness inspire us. Together we can face whatever challenges the galaxy presents." Kellen, standing beside Tyrael, added, Perhaps fate brought you here by accident, yet your arrival was timely and necessary. Humans are not only capable of great courage, you bring inspiration to all who witness it. We are honored to call you allies. As the celebration continued, Leah walked among the citizens, seeing the faces of Zyphora's people, curious, hopeful, and inspired. Children approached, their eyes wide with fascination, asking questions about Earth, humans, and the stars. Scientists and engineers exchanged ideas with her crew, eager to continue collaboration. Ravi leaned close to Leah. "Do you think they'll invite us to explore with them?" he asked quietly. Leah smiled. "I believe they will. And I think humans are ready for it. We've faced the unknown, worked with another species, and learned that courage and creativity can overcome challenges. The universe is bigger than we imagined, and now we have allies to explore it with us." In the days that followed, humans and Zifferans began joint projects. New fleets were designed for exploration, combining human adaptability with Zipheran technology. Education programs were established to share knowledge, and cultural exchanges began, fostering understanding between the two species. Humanity had arrived as helpers, but they were now partners, equals in ambition, courage, and discovery. One evening, Leah stood on a viewing platform, looking up at the stars. The human fleet orbited silently above, shimmering lights against the dark canvas of space. Ziphora's 3 suns cast gentle reflections across the crystalline landscape. She thought about how far humanity had come, from a small blue planet, sending messages into the unknown, to crossing galaxies to help a civilization they had never met. Ravi joined her, leaning on the railing. "It's incredible," he said softly. "I never imagined humans could do all this so quickly. We've changed a world, and earned friends across the stars." Leah nodded, her eyes reflecting the vastness of space. "It's just the beginning. We've proven what we can do, and now we have a chance to explore, learn, and grow. Humanity is no longer just on Earth. We're part of something bigger." Back in the council chambers of Zyphora, Tyrael and Kellen watched human ships maneuvering in orbit, their energy fields glowing softly in the darkness. "They came by accident," Tyrael said, "yet they were exactly what we needed. Humans bring not only skill but hope. Their courage strengthens all who witness it." Kellen smiled faintly. "Perhaps the universe chooses unpredictability to balance precision. Humans act with heart, intuition, and boldness. That is a rare combination, one that inspires even those who think they know the stars." Leah received a final message from Tyrael. "We look forward to the future, Leah Carter. Your species has proven itself worthy of trust and partnership. Let this be the first of many journeys together." Leah replied with a smile. "We will not disappoint. Humanity will continue to act with courage, creativity, and hope. Together we will explore the galaxy, learn from one another, and face whatever challenges lie ahead." And so humanity had achieved something extraordinary. They had crossed the stars, faced a cosmic storm, and saved a civilization they had never known. They had demonstrated the qualities that defined their species: courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and the will to act in the face of uncertainty. Zyphora had learned that even the most precise and calculated civilizations could benefit from the unpredictability and boldness of another species. And humans had learned that collaboration, respect, and openness could achieve results beyond what one species could do alone. As night fell on Zyphora, and the human fleet floated peacefully above, the future seemed limitless. Humanity had arrived not as conquerors but as partners, friends, and pioneers. Across the stars, the message was clear: humans are courageous, inventive, and capable of inspiring hope in the galaxy. Leah looked at Ravi one last time, feeling a quiet sense of fulfillment. "We've proven ourselves," she said, "but the real adventure has just begun." Ravi nodded, his eyes reflecting the stars. "And we'll face it together, humans and Zypherans side by side." Above them, the cosmos stretched endlessly, full of mystery, challenge, and opportunity. Humanity had arrived. They had acted with courage. They had inspired. And now they were ready to step into a new era, one filled with friendship, exploration, and the limitless possibilities of the universe. And somewhere among the stars, Zyphora's citizens smiled, knowing that their world had been saved, and that a species from a distant planet had come not by choice, but by accident, and had become their greatest ally. The stars shone brightly that night, reflecting the promise of new adventures, shared discoveries, and a partnership that would change the course of history for both worlds. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same again.